Oh, let me turn this down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
All right, and we're live.
We're live.
And we're live. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I'm Taylor.
I'm Lujack with
and we got Lujack with 3 C's.
I like that at the end. I like that in the outros.
Yeah, I say Lujack with a C.
And you're always like Lujack with a C.
Because like every person that I've told about you, like a relative or a friend or whatever, whenever they write it in text, they put it like a K there.
Yeah.
Or like a CK.
Yeah. Man, I spelled my own name with a K by accident through text. I was texting someone. Oh no, that's my phone. I should probably
Well, like the C button isn't near the K button.
Well, no, it was because I was using voice to text.
That makes sense.
So it spelled it with a K, and then I sent it, and then I was like, oh, now he's gonna think my name has a K in it. I was like, really
Sincerely,
upset about
Lujack, now he thinks that my name's gonna have a K in it. Oh no, how do I turn this off? All of that is on the cake. Have you seen that gag?
No, I have not.
It's from BoJack Horseman, where like the cake has everything on it.
Dude, I have. It's been so long because like I watched it until there were no more seasons, and then when the new season came out, I think it was like the 3rd season or something. And then when it came out, I just never got back to it, and now I have to like rewatch it, and now it's like over. So now I need to like go back and rewatch it from the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like. Sometimes I feel like there must be another. I feel like I got like lost in time because I saw all the seasons, and then like much later someone was like, "Oh yeah, in the new season of BoJack Horseman." I'm like, "What happened?" But like, I thought that I saw the season finale. Like, what more would they add after that? I'm pretty sure they did all the stuff. Or at least they ended it like a season finale, so it was confusing.
Well, maybe it was a fake out, who knows. Oh yeah, I'm playing this rough and tough, strong, weirdly pretty looking military lady.
Before that, I was going to read Taylor's Weird Meditation Notes, Part 2.
Oh yeah, it was going to be a cold open, but then it wasn't.
So I close my eyes and I see a red door with a brass handle. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens this time. And I open it up, and it's just pure darkness, except for a big like.
Except for the dude that's playing the dude disguised.
No, there's like a. You know those like heads that a costume person wears on their head.
Sure.
So there's like there's like a floating, like, weird clown head. Not like a person who is a clown's head, as in, like, a plastic...
Like a plastic mask.
A plastic thing that you would put on to, like, a mascot if you were a clown mascot.
Right.
Except it's just, like, floating there. And I'm like, oh, that's disconcerting. And then it moves, but it moves because it's being held up by one of those wearing all black prop guys. You know, like the people on Broadway plays where they move the props around and they wear like a whole like black what is it? One of those like bodysuits, so they disappear and then they can do special effects that way.
Right.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh no, there is a person. It's just a person holding up a prop, and then we get in a fight. And then I get them in a headlock, and then they like blow away into like the dark fog mist thing. And then I closed the door.
What the fuck?
So it was an interesting twist. I was not expecting prop guy to be an antagonist, but it's kind of neat when you think about it.
It's so weird.
My subconscious gets more creative than I am.
I think maybe meditation's not doing a lot of good for you.
You've been eating well. You've been meditating. I haven't been meditating. I got the app.
Well, that's the first step.
That's the first step.
We were talking about Robert Downey Jr. and how he was in the movie where it was like, I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude, and we were talking about blackface, and it made me think of Scrubs. There's like this episode where like,
Oh wait, hold on. I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Is it the one where JD and Turk are going out for Halloween
yeah,
as each other?
Yeah,
Except Turk
Except
is like,
Turk
oh, I have
runs
to go
off.
get something, and he runs off, which
And
means
then-
it leaves JD
He leaves
in
JD
blackface, just
defenseless in
alone.
the blackface, and then a blackface like opens the door and there's
I
just
was
a
like,
bunch
whoa,
of
what
black
the
people, and they like beat the shit out of him.
And I was like, I was just thinking, like, I feel like being, even if you are best friends, you can't be each other for Halloween. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Hey, dude, do you wanna dress up as each other? For
Like, we
Halloween?
got similar, like,
Yeah, we already
skin
kind of
tones,
we already
and
have similar features. I'm not even
I feel
sure
like
how
there
it
wouldn't
work.
be much of a point. It would have to be like a signature, like, style that we wear or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I could just wear a Hawaiian shirt and you
Look,
could
I
wear
need
any
a.
kind of like
What about?
TV show.
I feel
shirt.
if I got in if for a simple costume for Halloween, I'd just go as like Steven Universe with
Man.
like just.
Man, my costume would just be like Marcus Holloway from Watch Dogs 2. I get the mask and then I get the hat.
the mask and the hat.
The mask and the hat, just throw those on. Check it out. Now
I
I'm a
am
hacker.
I am
Now I am
some
DedSec.
kind of dead sec.
I am a DedSec now.
I'm deading the sex. No, wait.
Anyway, welcome.
There was a I think it's Pickles. It's the comic. It's the newsprint
Pickle
comic that's about like an old elderly couple. And
Oh, I thought it was Pickle Rick.
and I remember this one because it was really good. Where hold on, let me turn it down just a little bit more. I remember this one where the grandpa is like, you got your things on, we're going out for dinner, and she's like, well, just wait a sec, and he's like, I'm always waiting for a sec. I've spent my whole life waiting for sex. It's just like short pause and then a goof off.
Wow.
Oh, and then he it was like a one panel of pausing, and then like panel was just like, ah.
Right.
It was, mwah.
That's funny. Hey, you know that Updog comic?
There was a scratch and sniff one where you scratch it and it smells like Updog.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway, I'm gonna talk to this military lady. There's something you should know from the start.
Changed her accent, I guess.
Which is, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just kind of came out that way. The suspect in this case has confessed to the crime. Huh? That's you.
Oh right, I wasn't. And it was my voice for her was non-committal British.
Yeah.
Where it was like I can't stick with a British or American accent, so I'm gonna have it that's her character, that she continually tries for a British accent. Wait, but the suspect is
Me. I did it.
It was me.
It was me.
Did you know that's on our bingo card?
Yeah, you told me.
It's like number 3 on the list.
Nice.
Yeah, it happens so much in this series.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
just a
must
good
be-
callback.
Who's been leaving all these candy wrappers
Well,
everywhere?
because it's not just that, but it's the combination of that and like the weird writing on the wall in FNAF where it's like, it's me.
Oh yeah, that.
I was thinking about that and how it's just like, who's been leaving this candy wrapper? And then it's just writing on the wall, it was me.
Me. I did it. Well, fuck. I want to give her a more commanding voice, but I don't know how to do a commanding female voice.
Okay, so
'Cause,
be
like-
sure to enunciate.
Me. I did it. Well, Mr. Wright. Yeah.
You're getting there. Yeah.
Well,
It's more important to focus on the tone than trying to like get an entire gender in there,
yeah,
because that
Right.
requires practice.
yeah.
Y'all
I
folks at
don't-
home know what I'm talking about.
I don't think that's a thing I could even do. I mean, like, I don't know.
It requires it requires practice and understanding of tone and stuff. But yeah, you focus on the you focus on the overall the tone first, and then just let it flow from there.
Yeah. Well, why don't you begin by telling me exactly what happened? I don't know.
I'm from the Hapen cluster. This is just how we talk there.
I don't know why I decided to turn Phoenix into that just now.
His hands were very expressive. They were like a Team Fortress 2 animation. Just spraying around.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Oh, you're on.
Yeah. The crime took place yesterday, February 21st, at 5:15 p.m. That's quite specific. It was in the witness's deposition. Fuck. A witness clearly saw me committing the crime. That was a bit of bad luck, wasn't it? The crime took place in the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Prosecutor's office, huh? Prosecutor's office, huh?
That is also on the bingo list. Metal Gear Voices, check. End of a sentence, so it's got like a sort of,
As it were. As it were.
No, like an affirmative amount of air. Like, you want to end your sentences with precision.
Precision.
You don't you never drift off. You end on a solid note, so they understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So even if it's on a low sound, like saying, you gotta add a little bit of air in there.
Right. Well, that's just great. The victim. So who was the victim? An investigator with the police department.
Gumshoe, no! Gumshoe!
Damn it, Gumshoe, you were supposed to be the good person.
We see Gumshoe's body, but then it pans over and we see Gumshoe in the background walking towards us.
Oh no, it's following us. We just watched a Dudmeat do a kill count of.
I mean,
it follows.
logically, it follows.
Logically, it follows. It's about some sex monster. No, I'm not making that up. It's not literally a sex monster.
The concept is
it's like an STD.
Invisible sexually transmitted curse.
Yeah, it's a STD monster.
The part that really like brought it from super dangerous to kind of silly was the fact that it's affected by bed sheets. Because at that point, I was like, wait, so you could have thrown a sheet over it and then like fought it like a regular person?
I mean,
I assume that it's like extra strong and stuff too, but like that's what fascinates me is that like it's one of those.
Yeah, it's
one
physical.
of those.
It's physics enabled.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those threats that works in the scope that it exists in, because in the same way that like what's the word? Like the thing from The Thing. If you were prepared for it, you had a bunch of flamethrowers, then you could burn it out, whatever. But the average person doesn't have flamethrowers.
Right.
Or like
unless
aliens,
you're in a Far Cry game.
Yeah, or like the aliens from Alien. Like when you just have one on an entire ship, you might be able to take it down with an entire military force. But for the most part, it's just way better. It's on one-on-one battles with humans. It's just gonna win. So like, it's all about the scope.
Excuse me.
It's all about the scope at which it appears.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually in a slasher situation, like a Jason kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like sure, you could end a movie like early on if like a whole bunch of people like shot him and then I don't know buried him in concrete or whatever. It wouldn't be a movie though.
Jason is kind of undead though.
He's undead, but the point is that on the whole spectrum of Jasons that have existed, he didn't need to be like super duper supernaturally durable until folks with firearms finally catch him. Because when he's at the camp, he's only dealing with like mostly unarmed like young adults and teenagers. Like he's not dealing with a whole like armed force. So that puts that allows him to keep his like a lower power level.
Right. It Follows is a movie that I would actually like to see in its entirety. I watch a lot of like movie breakdowns, and
Oh, yeah.
and my sister came out and was like, "Why would you not just watch the movie?"
Because she's like way into
Yeah,
horror movies.
she likes
at
the movies,
some
but like
level.
sometimes people just absorb it easier through the form of breakdowns.
That's because, well, that's the thing is that like I don't like too much of the spookitude of scary movies. So, but I do enjoy the like. I do love a good. I do like a good spooky concept though. I like that it's like food for my brain where it's like, ooh, that's spooky. So I love like that's why I just I love those breakdowns where it's like, oh, here's a cool monster concept, and you see the pieces fall together, and you're like, oh, that's a really satisfying like arc to it of like. You got a monster and it's plays by certain rules, and then people figure out the rules and then battle it.
Yeah, I would like to see the actual movie though, because it looks fun. Horror movies don't really bother me that much. Most of them I just think are ridiculous. Honestly.
I was gonna say, actually no, I saw.
There's some good horror movies, but a lot of them are just.
I need to look up this movie. What's that? What's the guy who plays Mr. Nobody?
I don't know what his name was. He is way different in the comics, though.
Tudyk.
Which was the thing that I learned when I read the Doom Patrol
Alan Tudyk.
comic. I haven't read the new one. Well, new-ish.
There we go. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's a non-horror movie. It's a comedy revolving around the idea that these two like working class, like just hillbilly kind of guys just saved up enough to get a summer home that's like all like ramshackle out in the middle of nowhere. Right. And they're like, look, we finally did it. We finally got their summer home. We're gonna fix it up. We're gonna make it nice. We're gonna go fishing in the afternoons. And that's like the story from their perspective, but the story from like the local teenagers' perspectives is like, oh, there are these two weirdos and they live in this like decrepit shack, and they're super like creepy, and basically the entire movie is just like a series of like coincidences that lead them to think that there's like this slasher out there.
Huh.
It's very elaborate and silly, but
sounds pretty fun.
If you like Alan Tudyk, then go for that.
What's it called?
Once again, it keeps slipping through my brain because it is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Huh. Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose the correct term is detective.
A detective?
A detective. Death was due to a loss of blood. He was stabbed once in the stomach. By you? Death wasn't immediate, but the wound was fatal. I see. Suddenly I see! Allow me to repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The victim was a detective. You know what that means, don't you? Uh-oh.
What, Mr. Wright? What does it mean?
Oh, is it Gumshoe?
He's become... I'm pretty sure that Gumshoe shows up later on, so I'm like, please don't kill... Because I was also about to be like, wait, from the start, I thought that Mia was in more of the games. So, yeah, this is getting all Game of Thrones in here.
Is Mia not in the other games?
Well, that's the thing. I thought she was in the other games, and I think she is, but through Spirit Medium, not, like, being alive through the whole series. Like, I thought she was just alive.
Oh, Mia from the beginning.
Yes, not Maya.
Oh, I thought I always get them confused because their names are way
very
too similar. They're like one.
They should have names like Emma and Lana.
Lana! Emma! Well, then I guess just pout.
Well, it means there's, I don't know, like a manhunt going on to figure out who stabbed him.
Manhunt, I love that game. Nah, I've never actually played that game.
Nobody loves that game. Actually, no, that's untrue. Somebody might... I have seen it all the way through. I saw the YouTuber who went and played through Manhunt and Manhunt 2. Manhunt 2 just wasn't the same. But Manhunt had a very specific aesthetic. It was like... it's kind of like the lesser-known stepchild of GTA, where like it actually leaned into like, hey, what if we made a video game that's like the theme of it is like snuff film? And it's like, this is bizarre, but like it's got internal consistency.
So was it any good?
There are decent mechanics to it. It was like a early like little brother to like Hitman, basically, where you get into firefights, but it's mostly you. Ideally, it's you sneaking around and taking out people from sneaky positions.
Huh.
Yeah, and the mechanic was enforced by the plot itself, where the main character is being guided by this like crazy guy who's like, I set up cameras everywhere and I need you to take out all these other guys wandering around this facility in the most violent way possible. And what's fascinating is that he's in like Carceri City, which is funny because it just translates to like prison city. So he was like in a prison and then escaped and went to prison city. But it's the name Carcer City is actually mentioned in GTA 5.
Huh.
Which I'm like, I can imagine those things existing in the same universe more or less.
Was it also a Rockstar game?
Yes, it was a Rockstar game. That's why I said it's literally like the lesser known stepchild of the GTA series. Because it was actually like more violent. It was just like a lot more like violence for violence sake. Like, it wasn't as, like, well-rounded and stuff, and so it fascinates me, like, it should be the, like, this is the worst thing Rockstar did.
Right. You know what game I really want to play? Mafia 3. I've never played any of the Mafia games, but I specifically want to play the third one.
I would suggest Mafia 2 first, but, yeah, wait, hold on.
Well, I mean, Are they...
I don't know if it's available on PS4, so maybe just Mafia 3 then.
Yeah.
I played Mafia 2 on computer, and I played...
Is it like a GTA situation where they're not really connected?
No, they are definitely connected.
Oh, well, god damn it.
Well, no, not like super plot-wise. It's that, like, Mafia 2, you're like an old-timey, like, I think, what is it? Like, around the time of World War II gangster? Like, basically... folks, I mean, it was kind of it was part of the invention, not the invention of the Mafia, but like the extension of the Mafia, where the Mafia was supported in Italy for fighting like fascism and stuff in World War II, and then all the folks came back from the old country back to America after going to war there and stuff, and now they had all these gun skills. Yeah, well, apparently that's like a common theme in the games. In Mafia 3, I forget the name of the guy, but he is a vet from, I think, Vietnam, and it's the 1960s. And the main character of the second game shows up as one of the, like, mob sub-bosses, basically, where he's running his own, like, chunk of the underground scene. And he's like older and wiser. And the funny thing is, like, I feel like the game like wanted you to balance the three factions, but because I kept them balanced, I never figured out what happens if you just like specifically just support one faction and then like make them mad at each other. Because I guess you're supposed to balance them, but I don't know what happens if you go, oh yes, I'm just gonna support what's his name because he's from the last game, and I want to see him win.
All right. Two characters I would love to see hanging out: Handsome Jack and Pagan Man. I feel like that would be a neat thing.
I feel like they get into an argument.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a funny argument. I feel like it'd be a funny comic. I feel like it might end with Pagan Man killing Handsome Jack, but I mean, fuck him.
Yeah, fair enough. I was thinking, what about the gun guy and the gun guy from Borderlands? But I feel like they're just too different because the guy in Far Cry 4,
AJ?
No, the guy who has brought
Oh,
guns
Longinus?
into... Yeah, he's like brought guns into his religion. Like they're part of his...
Longinus and Marcus? Those are the two guys?
Yeah, Longinus and
Yeah,
Marcus.
that could be
And
a
that's
fun
because
comic.
that's because Longinus sees like guns as an extension of
religion.
both religion and like I guess justice, whereas Marcos
Marcus is just like,
Marcus
yeah,
sees
capitalism.
I think he sees guns purely in like a buy-sell market. Like I don't think he sees them as like an art or a cultural religion or anything.
You think Marcus would get annoyed by Longinus's religious speakings?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see how they play off of each other, just because like it'd be interesting if Marcos was like, if at one point he's like, wait, there's gun culture? Wait, I could sell like, I can just put like paint the guns and sell them for more.
Dude.
Like suddenly he doesn't actually absorb anything. He just like learns the meta and then learns that he could make more money off of it.
Right. Now I'm just imagining what it would be like if Marcus was like hanging out on Rocky or the Rook Islands and
Kirat.
in Kirat, yeah, just traveling to all the different Far Cry
I mean,
places.
isn't that the essence of what he's already doing in Borderlands, though?
I mean,
he's
yeah,
just
pretty
in
much,
war zones.
but he's kind of just with the same main group.
The
all
one thing that
time.
they don't establish that I feel like would be a thing that you'd be annoyed with him for is like, if he's selling all the guns everywhere, like, is he just supplying all the guns to like the raiders and stuff you're fighting?
Yeah. It was
'Cause that's annoying.
actually a heated argument that he and Roland had a lot when Roland was alive, which you don't know about because you didn't play the second game.
Right.
Which you totally could. It's on PS4. Go buy it. It was even on sale recently. I think you missed the sale.
Look,
Still go buy it.
you buy it and stream it, and
I
I will
have
watch
it.
you.
I have it.
Well, you should stream it.
We'll stream it at some point. But that's like a big chunky game, man.
It's a big chunky game.
We're
you're
gonna
right.
we'll get there
That's why I
eventually.
haven't bought it and played it, because it's a big chunky game, and I'm not so sure.
Yeah, excuse it. Yeah, you mean yeah. That's like being the guy who gets Phantom Pain and then keeps getting harassed by his friend to get like Snake Eater, and they're like, but I don't know, I already played Phantom Pain and it was great, and it's like,
No one said that. That's not a thing. No one said to say it.
yeah, no, someone did. I was watching this guy do a review who was like, oh dude, I love Phantom Pain, it's great, I love Phantom Pain. I'm not gonna
Was
go
this
back
guy
and play...
represented by a squid with 2 vertical eyes who says that he loves vertical videos?
You know, it wouldn't surprise me. But he was like,
I forget where that
Man,
skit is from.
he was like, I don't want to go back and play the other games because they all look like shit, but I love Phantom Pain and it's the best. And I was like, boy, you don't know what Metal Gear Solid is.
Well, aren't they? I just realized that's the person that like the HD remasters exist for, isn't
Yeah.
it?
What?
Like,
Yeah, except it's not on
there's
PS4,
like,
which is for
no,
some
as in
reason.
like Final Fantasy HD remasters.
Yeah.
You got the Resident Evils, the Resident Evil that
Yeah.
have been remastered. Which, by the way, I really, really do like, because honestly, like some games that are classics, I'm okay with them being like remade, where like 80% of like what was originally in them is put back in. Like maybe they add like a new like Easter egg or something,
Man.
but that they're remastered in HD just because like they're good games in the first place.
Man, if we could get a new HD collection for all the Metal Gear Solid games. Because I kept thinking that they would eventually make the Legacy Collection
Dude,
on
imagine how
PS4, but
how
they never
bonkers the
did.
boss battles
Instead,
would look.
they decided to just have like Guns of the Patriots be on there, but only available on PS Now. So it's like, you can't have the Legacy Collection, but you can play this game, but only if you give us money. And it's like, why can't I just have the Legacy Collection on this console? Like,
What's the first game that you would want remade in HD?
From MGS or just in general?
MGS specifically.
The first one, I would have to say probably Snake Eater. Snake Eater followed by Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah, I can understand that, because I remember seeing a bit of Snake Beaver.
Snake Eater.
Snake Beaver. I remember
Get
seeing
out of here, you snaky beaver. I didn't even do anything.
That, sir, is a weasel. Yeah, sir, that is a weasel. But it was a snaky beaver.
I am Snaky Beaver.
Sir, that is a weasel. No, I remember seeing a bit of Snake Eater over your shoulder, and I liked the overall mechanics and pacing.
Yeah.
It had fun boss battles.
It was great.
It had bits where, like, if you weren't confident in your supplies, you could, like, roam into a swamp, kill an alligator, and then come back.
Yeah.
It was that sort of slight bits of change in, like, pacing.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, you could get extra stealthy if you were putting on, like, all of your camouflage at the same time.
Yeah, it was great, man.
And you could recharge your batteries by eating mushrooms.
I just love how when you're like on the codex having that conversation, he's like, hold on a minute. She like goes
Everyone
like,
who's watching this episode on YouTube, you can pause this episode, and you can probably find
go
the,
to
like,
YouTube and look up
the
like
1 minute clip.
glowing mushroom caps for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Snake Eater glowing mushroom codex.
It's like, he thinks that eating the mushrooms will recharge his battery. Should we tell him? No, just let him think it. Like, what the fuck harm does it do? It's like,
You see, Snake does, along with the villains, Snake has the psionic power, but it only manifests as his ability to recharge batteries through the power of belief.
Dude, there was this theory video.
So he's like a Warhammer orc. If he paints his car red, it'll go faster.
Dude, remind me to tell you about a theory video that talked about how maybe he actually has the power of super luck or something later on.
That could work.
But
I like that idea.
Yeah.
What kind of power is super luck? It was probably invented by a guy who can't draw feet.
Yeah. Remind me to tell you about it later. Let's read some more of this first. Well, it means...
What does it mean?
The police department will consider it a matter of pride to have me found guilty. They will use any means at their disposal to do so. This case gets worse and worse with everything I learned. It just gets worse and worse!
Here's the question, though. Have they not investigated the subordinate? Because I feel like they would have been the prime.
I don't know, but they're making it sound like maybe it wasn't Gumshoe, so that's good.
I feel like they would have named...
Just some random detective. I feel like Phoenix would have been like, oh shit, not Gumshoe!
Just Gumshoe pops through, he's got like a cummerbund made of bandages around his belly, and he's like, but I lived!
I lived, bitch!
Did you die? Yes, but I lived.
It just cuts to like AJ from Far Cry 4 where he barges into his dad's home and he's like, still alive, assholes!
I love that phrase, like, I lived, bitch. Just like a character heroically living out of spite.
Yeah. So, you're the chief prosecutor. That is correct. I am responsible for overseeing every trial handled by prosecutors in this district. I make sure the prosecutors have what they need to do that job. I manage every aspect. Those are my responsibilities in a nutshell. That's an awfully large nutshell. Oh no, did I forget to plug in my laptop?
Bruh.
I forgot to plug in my laptop. Oh no. Well, the stream is still rolling, so we'll just keep on rolling until the...
This never happens on Game Grumps. Actually, like, do you think that kind of thing happens in Game Grumps where, like, they're recording and, I don't know, they knock something over?
I mean, probably. A lot of that shit probably happens off camera. So
I mean, I would say, it's when they, like, fart
or
whatever, but that's not controllable. That is random.
Yeah, no.
I mean, mostly.
Mostly. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think Aaron might have a superpower.
No, it's the curse. As we've mentioned in far previous episodes, the Game Grumps has a specific curse. It is a pact you make. To become a Game Grump, you must give up some control of some basic biological functions, such as you'll randomly swallow air, or you'll randomly choke, or you'll have nasty farts for no reason. That's just how it is. It's the curse of the Grumps.
Oh, hey, Aaron, how are you? Sorry, how are you doing? Shout out to the Game Grumps.
You know what's funny? I don't remember what Danny's would be, but for some reason I'm like, yes, his problem, no reason boners.
Not in front of the children. Dude, I was watching The Boys, and they were chasing this guy through a strip club, and there was like this big, hefty Russian
Reading
dude.
or watching?
Reading.
Because you're the person who I was gonna say, because the folks at home would be like, yes, the series The Boys I was watching.
Yeah.
Forgetting that apparently I didn't even know that it was a comic until you brought it up.
Yeah, it was originally a comic back in 2006. And there's one story arc where they go to Russia and they meet this Russian guy, and there was a network error. Please try again. Well, what if I reload you?
They're chasing a Russian guy through a strip club.
No. The Russian guy is an ally. He's with one of the main characters, and they're chasing him.
The main characters, a main character and their ally, who's a Russian guy, are chasing someone else. The
Russian guy is only in like this one story arc. Well, so far, I hope it comes back. But they're basically chasing this dude like through a strip club, and they go into the strip club, and the Russian guy, what's his name? I think it was Vaz. He's like, damn it, strip clubs, and they're like. Huey goes to run off with the guy and is like, come on, we gotta catch him. And he like just kind of stops for a minute and he's like, damn it, can't run straight with massive boner. You have to go after them, Huey.
It baffles scientists. No reason boner.
Well, this one was very had
reasonable boner.
Reasonable boner. Lots of strippers. Lots of
it confirms.
through the air.
It confirms something. I don't know.
But he was like a really big Russian dude, so I mean, you can assume he also had a really big.
I mean, if everything was proportional, but I'm not sure.
If everything was proportional.
But theoretically, I don't know if genetics actually work that way.
I don't know either, but he said it was a massive erection and it kept him from earning. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume he has a big dick.
Yeah, well, it's also in like a splint to keep it from bending. Just that.
That image.
There's just it's instead of a censorship, you just have a plank of wood that is just on his thigh, that's over his junk, that's like taped to his leg.
It's too big.
That seems like a gag that Danny would do. It's like, I went to the hospital, I broke my penis, I had to put it on a splint. My life is back on track, but I've been in the hospital since Pika shot me in the sack.
Oh my god. Suck a yellow dick, bitch, I choose you to die.
That's a different song,
yeah,
but okay.
I know, but they both talk about getting shot in the dick.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's a follow-up to that song, really.
Is it?
Yeah, Pikachu...
I don't know if you've been shot in the nuts. Spoilers, it sucks.
Yeah, and then that song's basically a sequel to that song, where he's like, I just got out of the hospital, and, I don't know all these new Pokemon. Could you explain these?
That's an awfully large nutshell. And those
Crazy.
are some awfully large nuts.
Yeah, and it pans over, and it's like a bowl, and it's just like free samples, and it's just like 3 coconuts barely fit into a bowl. I feel like that would be the worst, like, kind of nut that you could have at like a party or something. Just a coconut, just sitting.
Even just eating it,
just one in a bowl,
is a huge like trial to do, because you have to like cut it open, and there's like milk inside of it.
Yeah,
it's a whole process.
Look, coconuts are fascinating in that they have hair and milk. They're nearly mammals.
Huh? Are they alive?
I mean, technically, yeah, they are. Well, they were, because they're plants.
Oh, yeah.
They're alive, just not in the. They're not even. Not in the animal.
That's sentient.
Kingdom. Well, they're not even in the animal kingdom. If you want to know more about where, I guess, humans would have split off from coconuts, you can actually check out, what is it, Aaron Ra's series. It's like the systematic classification of life. I still haven't seen all of them, but he, like, basically starts at, okay, here's stuff that's, like, alive. Here's, like, the earliest stuff that we know that existed that was, like, even alive. Here's, like, single-celled organisms. And then he works his way from, like, that into multi-celled organisms, into creatures with bone-like structures made of cartilage, to creatures that actually have skulls, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Like it's because the classification that you put someone in, going from like their species to genus and family and so on, is also in the also a sort of chronological list of where they've been.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating. Still, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised.
A little surprised.
A little surprised. I would think you'd recognize the district's chief prosecutor, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, you know? It was me! Who's been prosecuting these districts?
It
was me. Should have 2 of those on the bingo card.
Yes. Oh, it's good stuff. Oh, laptop's back on, by the way.
Yeah, and you got you got a line.
Yeah, I do in fact have a line. In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't. She's got like her hand on her chest. She's doing that like, oh. Did
she hurt her hand?
Maybe that's just a style in Japan. I don't know.
It's she was part of a ninja clan.
Yeah, she was part of a ninja clan in her early
And wearing
days.
bandages is really a popular style in the world of Naruto.
You know, Lee's the only one who ever actually used his bandages in
combat.
combat.
I think you mentioned that a few episodes ago, how like he had a technique where he could actually like use them in
yeah, they would like wrap around his opponent when he did the primary lotus, which is not necessary because Guy does the primary lotus and he doesn't use bandages.
He just grabs him with his hands or
yeah,
whatever.
It's just a thing that Lee
I feel like it would
does.
I feel like though that would be like an advanced version, because if you're using the bandages, it gives you more reach, and also if it's something that's like, say it's like a contact poison, you can grab with the bandages instead of touching them directly. It gives you just a little bit of space.
Yeah.
But man, the funny thing about the bandage style is that just imagining how long it takes to like get dressed in the morning.
Yeah, you think Lee ever gets
it's like what's his name from Doom Patrol.
Yeah, you think Lee ever gets annoyed by that? You think he's ever hanging out with like a Kurenai or whatever, and he's like, dude, I actually use these bandages. Like, these are a tool for me. You're just... Why do you even have them?
How long does it take for you to put those on? It's a lot of time. How do you even get here in the morning? Oh, I just don't take them off.
Well, Kurenai's...
I wear them in the shower.
Kurenai's more crazy because she has it like along her arms, but like I think she also has it around her torso as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Do you think it's like just one long like on laundry day? There's just like clothes, and then just like a roll, just a roll of bandages.
Just a whole roll of bandages.
Dude, you've got to have a spare roll then for laundry days. So
yeah, obviously.
You can and that, just imagining a Naruto like bleach commercial where it's like it'll keep all your giant bandage strips extra white.
Not to be confused with bleached anime, which has nothing to do with bleach.
They do have white undershirts, so they might need to use bleach in bleach, but...
Probably, I guess.
That's the situation where you'd have enough white clothes that you'd actually, like, want to use, like, a fancy bleach.
Yeah. In fact, it seems impossible you wouldn't.
No.
No, you have to yell it every time.
Lana! What happened to your hand?
Oh, this? I cut myself by accident. When I stabbed him, that is.
Huh?
I'm not very good at being a criminal, I suppose. How am I supposed to defend this? Time to change the subject. Wait, she was in the class ahead of Mia, wasn't she? Return to Mia. You were in school with Mia, correct? A few years above her? Emma told you that too, did she?
Well, why not? I did drag him all the way here from his office. He was very heavy. They get the assistance of the guy across the street, and he only had one hand available because the other was glued to a tray.
Had to like throw him in a wagon and pull him in that.
Oh, I'm imagining like a rickshaw, like it's pulled. Oh, that'd be great.
You think he used to play games before getting that tray glued to his hand, and now he just can't. I think now he's just like, oh, I miss games.
He's really good at Kinect games because he's got a wider profile. You ever see? Oh yeah, I actually finished Rise of Nightmares. Dude, whose idea was it to be like, hey, you know, it's a really good way of like showcasing this technology. Let's make it like a survival horror game. And it's like, see, you'd think at first you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense because now like they're moving around, so they're like feeling the groove. But the thing is, like in dancing games, you're feeling the groove. In other like more like comedy games, you're feeling that like active emotion. But in survival horror games, that quickly goes from like feeling scared to feeling very silly when you find a ladder and you gotta do the Johnny Bravo dance to get up it.
Do the monkey with me.
Do the monkey with me. Y'all, if you don't know what that is,
then you're too young.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're too young for this channel.
Basically, you put two fists in front of you and then raise one, lower the other, and then alternate like milking a cow, except it's a really long udder.
We're not gonna get... Is that episodes of George Lopez where like George's mom wants a car or something, and she's like talking to George's wife about it, whose name I can't remember. She's like, we're not gonna... And George is like behind her being like using body language to be like, no, we're not getting her a car. Not actually saying it, but just kind of using body language. And she's like, no, we're not getting you a car. And she's like, no, why not? And George tries to do like a motion of like drinking and driving, but instead it looks like he's like milking a cow and sucking his thumb. So she's like, because he will suck your thumb and milk a cow. And she like turns behind him and is like, drinking and driving. She's like, well, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It was really funny.
Milking a cow.
Although it seems he has very little in common with Mia.
I'm just imagining Phoenix Wright on the Kinect, where it's mostly like standing and then reaching your arm up to the side to go to the next text. But occasionally, oh yeah, you'd actually point to hold it.
Yeah. It was in law school. I was in my 3rd year, and she was auditing the class. Wait, so she was in this class with Mia, not Maya.
Yes.
This whole time I was thinking it was Maya.
No.
Fucking damn it.
Mia went to law school.
They're too similar in naming.
Yeah, but I thought you'd get it from the context of going to the law school.
You know, you'd think I would. I've been very confused.
Like a smart person.
I've been very confused up till now. She was different than the other students.
I'm not like other girls. I have snake arms. It's an Asdif movie reference.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm not like other girls. I have
snake arms.
Tits. Come here, tits. No! And they're just snakes.
That's terrifying.
Snakes. Snake tits.
I love that snake arms bit. Just the that and the music that went with it. It was just... It was good.
I like the pie one.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor. Man, yeah, that's one of my favorites because it's so... What's the word? It's so tight. It's got that very snappy comedy.
Yeah.
Where you set up the premise and then you switch it, and it's like
it's good shit.
I don't know what the comedy style is, but that's my favorite kind of comedy. Comedy is sort of like a little gremlin in your brain that's like, I will give you the happy juice, but only if you trick me.
Different?
I was expecting something normal to be in the pie, but it was pie instead.
There was pie inside the pie the whole time. She was strong. She was strong. She was strong. She'd do anything to become a defense attorney. Anything.
She falsified documents.
Oh,
she stole a car.
No, that's Von Karma.
She stole a skateboard from a cow.
The orphans, they're all dead.
She milked a cow and sucked her thumb.
Skateboards. I am real, man. You want to go skateboards? That was probably why she was attracted to me. What? Wait, whoa, wait, what? Excuse me?
New lore.
New lore.
Intellectually attracted. Lana was to the top of her class. Was top of her class in school.
I was the best there was. Oh. See, I thought it was a lesbian thing.
You know, like a
Yeah.
lesbian thing.
Shout out to any lesbians that are watching.
Shout out to lesbians.
Shout out to everyone. Shout out to anyone and everyone.
That's
who's
not
watching
specific
this video.
enough.
Well, yeah, but like.
Shout out to everyone. Everyone at home. Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, we don't have to.
That would be a good. That would be an as-if movie
we don't
skit.
We don't want to alienate any of our viewers.
Yeah, but you shout them out one at a time, though.
Okay. Shout out to our lesbians. Shout out to our gays. Shout out to our straights. Shout out to our bis. Especially shout out to those of you who recognize Days Gone as the masterpiece that it is.
That is the twist that I was hoping for. I was like, hold on, how many more bases does he cover? Like, I don't want to get into a loop here. And then he's like,
nailed it.
Look, I think we can all acknowledge that Days Gone was a masterpiece. Highly underappreciated.
Highly underappreciated. Criminally underappreciated.
I'm doing pretty good in school too, by the way.
Shul too. Nobody ever talks about the character work.
Why does no one talk about the character work?
It's ridiculous. You have it in the glass door?
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. It's
I feel like I'm in a terrarium.
It is mighty toasty right now. It sounds a bit different when Emma says it. Well, Mr. Wright? Excuse me? As you can plainly see, I am admitting my guilt. I think it's safe to say there's no way you can take this case. None.
But not. So here's. So in the logic of this universe, like, lawyers won't take cases that they know will like fail or what have you, which would imply that like every time someone does something that's too obviously a crime, it just ends up going to like a state prosecutor or a state defense lawyer or something.
Right.
Like you think the state defense lawyer has just way too many cases.
You think?
I mean, that's how it is in real life, but like.
You think Phoenix will be like a state defense attorney person by the time the third game comes around?
Now I'm just imagining the like Last Week Tonight skit where it's like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, but it's Phoenix Wright State Attorney, and it's like all the fun of Phoenix Wright, except you're managing like 15 cases at the same time and have like 5 minutes to prepare a statement. Like, for each one. Because, like, state attorneys are, like, way overworked because they just get all of the cases.
Oh, no.
I think it's state attorney. It's basically the one that you're, like, it's the one that comes on the tin. It's, like, the default attorney that you get if you don't have an attorney.
Right.
Which turns out to be a lot of people, because a lot of people don't have attorneys.
Right.
Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Shout out to all our attorneys out there.
Shout out to, I don't know, Legal Eagle, who does YouTube videos about how like fictional characters like break certain laws.
Has he done a video on Phoenix Wright?
I feel like if he hasn't, he should, and if he has, I should see that.
Yeah.
My only problem with him, his videos aren't long enough. He's like, let me tell you all the problems of Jurassic Park, and I'm like, ooh, okay, the legal issues of Jurassic Park do go on, and it's like 7 minutes. I'm like, 7? How? I would have picked apart a little bit, but I guess I guess he's I figure I guess like part of his learnings of a lawyer is like being succinct with his videos.
Right.
Not exactly. There's not a lot of. It's not like improv comedy.
Right.
Never think of anyone but yourself. I know you didn't do it, Lana. I know. You're so non-committal about the whole stabbing thing. It just doesn't make any sense. So, how can you say you did?
I'm covering for another person.
That's what I was
I mean,
thinking.
that's what I'm guessing.
Your cat's like looking out the window.
Yeah.
Ooh, that breeze is coming in.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder if she's like taking the fall for someone.
Well, that's the thing is
Okay, the plot twist is that Emma did it, but it was in her sleep, and so she's taking the fall because she doesn't want her going to prison for it because it was in her sleep.
I mean, that's the closest thing, because like
But
I
the problem
figure.
with that is that she's just gonna go sleep killing again.
Because my
later.
first idea was, oh, what if she like caught the detective doing something illegal and they got in a fight and she stabbed him in self-defense, and like the whole thing would bring down like the whole like not precincts, what's the word? Yeah, the whole thing like would bring down the whole precinct, and she doesn't think that it'll work in court.
You think?
But like, I don't know. I like your idea more though.
You think there's like a B horror movie out there somewhere where the whole
I think there's a
premise is, like,
bee
the
horror
person's,
movie out
like-
there. You know, scary bees or something.
No, bees, my god.
Bees, my god.
No, but like that's a Linkara reference for those of you who don't know. It's in the voice of Batman. Long story. But you think there's like some B horror movie out there that's like about some sleep killer person that just kills people when they fall asleep?
Hold on, like they sleepwalk and kill while they're sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay, not someone who just kills people who are sleeping. Which,
What? No, God.
that'd be pretty generic.
No.
But yeah, no, that's gotta be, right?
I feel like
There's gotta be at least one movie where it's
Yeah.
like, people have been dying around me.
But I also feel like if it exists, there's probably no way to take it seriously because it's just too nonsensical.
It sounds like something that would be a very short arc on a drama.
I feel like it would work if it was like done in the form of satire.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Get Alan Tudyk in there.
Yeah.
I've been killing people in my sleep.
Dun dun dun.
I keep having dreams about these marshmallow people, and they keep shouting at me, and they say they won't stop shouting unless I stab them with this plunger. Except when I wake up, the plunger is a knife.
Oh no. Your line.
And the marshmallow people are regular people.
Fuck your marshmallow people. Man, fuck the marshmallow people. Shout out to all our marshmallow people viewers.
There's someone watching this who's got
Just
like
eating
a
a bag
mouth
of
full of marshmallows, and they're like,
hey!
and they can't respond because their mouth full of marshmallows, but like a single tear like, goes down their face. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks.
If I lose you, once again, I'll be all alone. I hate you, Lana.
Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? I believe our discussion here is ended. The rest, I leave to you. Exclamation point! You mean you're requesting my services as your defense? Don't lose any sleep over it. Your client has confessed after all, the case is over. Right. I'll do what I can to get to the bottom of this.
Now, if this turns out to be like something, some like legal jargon that she messed up, I'm gonna be very annoyed because she's supposed to be like a chief prosecutor or whatever. So like, whatever the problem is, it should be something that isn't like specifically in her wheelhouse that she can control.
Right. Lana has confessed to the crime, yes, but something doesn't fit. I could make it some kind of dick joke with that, but you know, I'm not feeling it tonight.
That wouldn't be appropriate.
Well, this whole channel's not necessarily appropriate for
I
children.
mean, in this specific context.
Yeah, in this specific context now. It's that look in Emma's eyes.
Something doesn't fit. It's the glasses. They're just a little too big and they keep sliding down onto her face. That's what's going on?
That's what it is.
That's my theory right there.
That's a good, solid theory. There's something else going on here, and I'm going to find out what.
It turns out that the the detective was actually stabbed by a very confused pasta chef guy who lives in a boat shop. Who's just going around stabbing people. It's the infamous butt stabber.
You think any Yogi will show up in later games?
That would be real weird. Because I figure that
I mean, he's probably getting like a life sentence.
I would
now, right?
I would like for there to be through lines where like there's like bad guy organizations. Like I really like the idea of like more like Blue Corp like remnants. Where it's like, this person... I keep starting my quotes with, where there's some kind of... Where there's, like, a remnant of Blue Corp that still has a bunch of, like, blackmail stuff, and you're taking down, like, another, like, a lieutenant that's kind of doing a whole Star Wars-y style First Order deal, where they're like, we can still... Once again... Where they're like, we can rebuild Blue Corp and have entire control over like the courts and the police and everything, and you're like, nah, and you just like bring him to court.
Nah, bruv.
Except you're a defense attorney. So the weirdest thing about this series is that you're a defense attorney, but you
you're
get
also
to have
like a detective.
You get to have your cake and eat it too, because you're a defense attorney, but you basically get to prosecute every time.
Yeah, that is fun.
Do I get paid more if I have to prosecute too?
Hey, so this has nothing to do with anything, just something that I thought about. So, in Borderlands, the pre-sequel, they say bruv, like
Bruv?
with a V.
Yeah.
And I do that to my sister, and she hates it, and it's funny.
Because she's not your bruv, she's your civ.
Everyone is a bruv. I'm a bruv.
Right.
The women are bruvs. The children are bruvs. The bruvs, of course, bruvs.
Double bruvs.
Double bruvs. It's like in Scrubs, where it's like, look, newbie, and when you work in a hospital, everyone's a man. The women are men. The children are men. The men, of course, men.
What is that?
It was from Scrubs. It was Dr. Cox.
Huh. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright.
Huh? About what?
My sister, she's not always like that, you know. Also, I clogged the toilet.
Well...
I have unusually large dumps.
Thank you, Emma. I think you can probably take
World
off
building
now.
here. The only reason I have that joke on hand is that that's just like a thing that's a problem that I have. It's like... Oh, you're at a... It's like, I'm at a friend's house and have to use the bathroom. Is it number 2? I'm just gonna go somewhere else.
I'm just gonna go home.
I'm just gonna leave. I can't have... I can't stream... We can't do like a 6-hour stream like here or something.
Dude, I feel for you, man. It's rough. I just never expected to be defending another prosecutor again. I mean, it feels like I literally just did that. Like, is this gonna be the theme now? From here on out? Is this gonna be the theme of these games?
Look, we're a defense attorney that defends prosecuting attorneys, but also has to prosecute the prosecuting attorneys that are prosecuting yours.
My brain.
I mean, that's what the Von Karma thing was.
My brain!
We were defending a prosecuting attorney from another prosecuting attorney, and then we had to prosecute the prosecuting attorney.
My brain.
My brain. She's changed a lot. She used to be so gentle, always smiling, and everybody liked her.
I see. Sorry, but I'm having trouble imagining that. What happened to her? What happened?
What happened? I don't know for certain myself. Maybe she... maybe not.
Sounds like there's something there that defies a simple
She's
scientific
been reading a lot of Ayn
explanation.
Rand books.
A lot of what?
She's been reading a lot of Ayn Rand books.
I don't know what that is.
the one. She's a lady who wrote like Atlas Shrugs. It's just basically, it's like if you distilled the concept of like the most like toxic aspects of capitalism and then put it into a book.
Huh.
And ironically, one of her books only got, or not one of her books. What was it? One of her books only got like published after crowd. It was like crowd supported. So it's like, I see that you put like all of your work into like uplifting capitalism, and then your last book doesn't get like sell well enough, and so a bunch of people like banded together and made it work through the power of socialism.
Huh. Go figure. Sounds. Oh, I read that already. Let's go check out this underground parking at the prosecutor's office, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Oh, yeah. So I was gonna tell you about a Metal Gear Solid theory. I can't remember who it was that had this theory.
I am Luigi, and you are too.
I'm Luigi, and you are too. Basically, it's the theory that like Big Boss has just like beyond domino level super luck,
he's got
which
super
is why
luck.
he can accomplish so many crazy things. But he only has that power as long as he is in doubt, because he's always thinking, oh, I have to really push hard to make this work, because it's going to be super difficult, and that's why the power works. But the reason why Solid Snake brings him down in the original Metal Gear games is because he's so, like, full of himself and so certain of his victory that the power, like, stops working, and then he gets killed.
Okay.
So it's like a psychological thing.
Yeah.
That's the theory.
I like that. That makes sense.
It's a neat theory.
That's science with a PSI.
I mean, how else do you explain him being able to literally hold a big, giant metal tank thing as it's trying to fall onto him? That actually happened. That was in Peace Walker.
Was that the thing that tries to, like, squish you?
Yeah, it tries to squish you, and you just, like, and you push up against it, and somehow he can do that.
Well, you see, it's like a crocodile jaw. It only has a lowering power of a few newtons. It normally has to let gravity do a bunch of the work. It's actually got like a neutral sort of buoyancy, so you're just resisting about like 4 pounds of hydraulics.
It's so my favorite bit in Peace Walker is how you can like Fulton people through the ceiling. You need a black hole to do that in Phantom Pain, but Peace Walker was just like, it's a PSP. Fuck
it. Son, I'm respecting your privacy. I'm respecting your privacy by not knocking, but I'm asserting my authority as your father by Fultoning you out of the room. He just busts a hole in the ceiling.
It's so crazy. We gotta go to the underground parking lot.
Let's get some data up in here.
Up in here, up in here, up in here. Oh, this is a new location we've never seen. Vibrata to proscatus.
Please. Just this once.
February 22nd, prosecutor's office, underground parking lot.
Underground Perkin alert.
Perkin alert. Ermagerd, the Perkin alert.
It has to be just like verbally legible enough that someone who's listening to the to this show, such as me, can be like, ah, yes, that's what they mean.
So this is the lot where it all happened.
This is the room where it happened. Looks like they're still investigating.
Funny that my first visit to the prosecutor's office should be like this.
Hey everyone, keep up the good work.
Hey, what are you thinking?
Well, they're gonna be my coworkers 3 years from now, after all. No harm in saying hello.
Actually, there is. You know attorneys aren't supposed to examine crime scenes. But we do that! It literally
that's our whole job.
That's like all we do. I'm trying to not stand out too
Oh,
much.
if only we had
here,
if only we had a detective on hand.
Hmm.
Well, we've basically
Oh.
got 2 in this entire like district.
And one of them's dead.
Yeah. And the other is I don't know. He's out
Incompetent.
walking missile right now.
Oh my god,
It's a cute side story right there. I don't know what the thing is. Every time these pop up, I'm like, what voice do I give them if I don't know who it is? Hey there. Hey there. You expecting to go unnoticed here? You expecting to go unnoticed here, partner?
Oh no, it's Goofy.
Partner.
Partner.
It is a
Jesus,
cowboy.
who the fuck is this guy?
It's the spirit of the West.
Oh no. I thought we
Look,
were in Japan.
listen. They got a little Western boogie
He got
going
his
on.
own, like, soundtrack. He's got his own theme music.
What do we have here?
What is the spirit of the West doing in Japan? Or
Neo Old
wherever
Tokyo.
this is. Neo.
I can't read the next line until you hit the button.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where the fuck this game takes place.
No, hold on. I should have gone a little more like Spanish cowboy. But looks like a bambina got loose from the ranch.
I'm thinking
and
of
is up
like
to no good.
I'm thinking of like what's his name, Aaron Black from.
No, that's Italian. No, that what?
No, I'm thinking of like Aaron Black from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he's got a cowboy style, but he doesn't have a cowboy accent.
Yeah.
Maybe. it's not
I
coming
don't
to
know.
my mind.
You do whatever feels right.
The funny thing is that Bambina is Italian, so he's a spaghetti western.
Looks like a Bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. The fuck's a Bambina?
Means a little lady. Mia Bambina.
Oh, like a. Alright, cool.
Looks like a Bambina got loose from the ranch and is up to no good. Folks gotta learn to keep them dogies tied down, partner.
What?
Sir, just Greg Universe. Women are people.
Wow.
Mr. Marshall?
Wait, so is he a marshal?
Or is
that's
that just
also
his name?
named
We'll find out as soon as we
Marshall?
hit that button. Shing.
He just.
Looks more like a sheriff.
He does. He doesn't even. Like his hair grows back instantly.
He's got to keep it to just the right amount of stubble.
Wow. Why is this a character that exists?
This is Phoenix Wright, sir.
Marshall looks more like a sheriff to me.
Looky here, Bambina. I know how you feel. But this is my gang's gold strike, see? Strike? This is our claim, our territory, with a mother load of evidence. If you're fixing to mess with what's ours, you'll regret it, partner. This is my serious face.
First I lolled, then I serious.
You know what dreams the cacti out in the desert dream? You know what dreams the cacti Hold on. You know what dreams what kind of dreams the cacti out in the desert dream?
Drink cactus juice.
You wanna?
It'll quench ya.
Drink
It's
cactus
a
juice.
quench
It'll
ya.
quench ya. It's the quenchiest. Maybe you'll make friends with a mushroom.
Friendly mushroom. What's this guy talking about? Okay,
You
just
head
drink at
along
work.
now.
That's cool.
Happy trails, Bambina.
Why do you exist?
Man, everyone is so like I love that Phoenix Wright is kind of like everyone's got a gimmick
Yeah.
to some degree.
Yeah. She's a scientific lawyer. Was that hombre a friend of yours?
El hombre.
El hombre.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, he's a detective.
So we got 3 detectives. and one
Okay,
of
so we
them's
got
dead.
3 detectives, and there's 4 districts.
There's only 8 Jan Michael Vincents.
I refuse to pass this bill to allow more Jan Michael Vincents.
Shit, man. who thinks he's a sheriff from the Wild West, it seems. Luck, partner. I don't even know.
Let's look around. We haven't touched anything here. There's a
hey,
door.
Hey,
there's a ladder.
Hey, so one thing that's been really bugging me. So in Far Cry 5, you're like a junior deputy, and there are like three other deputy people, I think.
No, it's
Joey, Stacy.
There's three other people, but it's the marshal, the sheriff.
Well, no, because they're all like a bunch, like
rank wise,
so,
or
okay, so like you play a junior deputy, right?
Yeah.
And then Joey and Stacy are both deputies, but then what's his name? Cameron is the marshal.
I don't remember the names.
Earl is the sheriff. I do, because I looked him up.
Okay.
So what's I always figured that like the deputies were below the sheriff, and then like junior deputy obviously is, I guess.
Yeah, and I think marshal is above that.
What the fuck is a marshal?
I think marshal is above that. I think they're on a federal level, so it would have been marshal, and then he's basically the federal extension that is then gathered the sheriff, and the sheriff gathered the deputies. Technically, they're as a sheriff, they're on I think a county level, and so they'd be like from Hope County, basically.
I also thought that there was only one deputy to the one sheriff person, but apparently there can be more than one.
Yeah, it's I think
According
it's like a a provisional thing where it's like if you got more work to do, you can deputize another person.
I think Nina, the lady on the radio in the beginning, was also a deputy.
No, they were another department entirely. They're some kind of dispatcher.
Right. We should play Far Cry 5 this weekend.
Yeah. Look, a door. Opens door. There's a whole nother room in here.
Now that sounds like a song from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
No, that's actually an MST3K reference.
Huh.
It's one that it was really lightning in a bottle because there was something about the delivery of a character walking through a door and be like, "There's a whole other room in here." They just hit that perfect level of sarcasm.
Right.
This must mean something.
I'm not sure that doors mean anything.
Are you tired of having doors in a place and they mean something?
Come on, Dad. Real fake doors. Our doors don't mean jack shit.
Thank you for that. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. It's a real fake door.
God, it's a real fake door. I fail to see what's mysterious about it.
Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more.
What? The fuck are you?
I don't know what she means, but I'm becoming more fond of Emma.
I'm becoming more confused by Emma. Let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Hey, wanna go get cheeseburgers after this?
See, here's the thing. Here's what confuses me. That light above it means that it's an exit door. Why would it be locked and from this angle? Wouldn't it be... Oh, no, hold on. That's into the building. So that's an emergency... That should be an emergency exit door. So it would normally be locked.
Right.
So the fact that she found it weird that it was locked is just silly. The ladder. Go into the... Press R1.
Wow.
Go into the we don't have a key. We could use a key on the ladder.
Oh, hey, look, we got... Hey, we still got Miles of Gumshoe here.
I forgot his name was Dick Gumshoe.
You think he'll show up in this chapter?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I mean, if it's only that list, then I feel like they gotta click on that ladder. Aha! A ladder.
A ladder, huh? That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? In scientific terms, please.
Just goes to Maya, you shouldn't differentiate between ladders or some shit. She had a weird thing with ladders or something.
Was it? Wait, who?
Maya. Do you know remember that?
I thought you said
the movie studio.
Yeah, it was because it was something to do with steps versus rungs.
Yeah.
And it's Is there really that much of a difference? I mean, they're very similar.
Yeah.
Have you ever been playing Assassin's Creed and you go up to a building that has a ladder on it and you're like, child's play? Just you actually like ask yourself, should I like use I haven't seen the climbing a regular ladder animation in this game.
Should I do it just to see if it holds up?
By the way, was Origins the first one that added like regular climbing up rocks? Because that wasn't a thing in the other games I had played, but I hadn't played. There's not a lot of rock climbing in Unity.
No, there's not really any rock climbing in Syndicate either.
And there's plenty of rocks in Black Flag, but you couldn't climb them.
Yeah.
I think Origins was the first one to do that, where basically
they were also the first one to not have like a walking animation. You just run all the time.
Well, no, you just be gentle with the left stick.
No. Why would you do that?
So you could see the walk animation.
Why would you want to?
See what it would look like.
Look, man, having to hold a button to run has been annoying for all the Assassin's Creed games. You think I'm going to purposely walk now that I don't have
just
to?
To see, just if the walk animation was completely like Lego Star Wars weird, but like you'd never know. Bro, you haven't been talking to the NPCs in Far Cry 5, and that's how you discover all the prepper caches.
Look, man, until I talked to some of them.
Yeah, and how many prepper caches have you discovered?
A few.
A few. There's like dozens of them.
Look, man, I'll be way more committed to Far Cry 5 once I get through Far Cry 4 and Primal.
Alright.
Which is why I'm trying to focus.
Scientific, huh?
I'm trying to like limit the sessions that I play of Far Cry 5 with you because I don't want to like beat that before getting through Far Cry 4.
That's fair enough.
That's you.
Look at the basic nature of things, Mr. Wright.
This all seems so horribly familiar.
Is it weird that I feel
somehow.
like Emma... I was gonna say, is it weird that Emma seems like more like directed when it comes to like looking for evidence and stuff? Like even if she's a goof about it, and I was like, oh yeah, she's going into forensic science. That's her jam.
Yeah.
It's not that she's great at it, but like she's focused on it. She's already in the mindset.
She's the Maya of this story, but with
Check
science.
this out. Look, world's greatest detective right here. This wall is in our way.
Just step slightly to the
Just
left, and boom, then you clip into the wall.
just a Gary's Mod Emma like halfway face through a wall, and it's just like, ah, yes, this wall is made of wall. It's got a faucet for water.
Nope, this is not my house. My mom is not a fat old naked man on the couch. We don't
And you don't even own a parakeet. Where am I now? Is this a movie theater? It's really dark. Oh, yep, definitely a movie theater. Popcorn's real buttery.
Popcorn's real buttery.
Such a weirdly specific, like...
Dude, if you guys don't know
Dude,
what we're talking about,
can you imagine, like...
What's the name of that video?
It's... I don't remember.
Something about...
I think it's just called Go Bed, Go Home.
Yeah, Go Home, Go Bed.
Go Home, Go Bad.
Go look up Go Home, Go Bad.
You know what's wild when you think about it? That, like... That... I think it's Vanoss. They were in the top 10 for, like, most popular, richest, like, YouTubers. Like, they're so popular that they're like, I don't know, 6 or 7, at least, like, friends are also YouTubers who get, like, who sort of get that, like, secondary, like, YouTube, like, population flow.
Right.
Where, like, they're all also, like, YouTubing pretty well.
Right.
Like, it's like a... What is the word? Like, I wonder... Like, that's not the standard, though. Like, because we know... I used to say this back in, like, the early 2010s, where it was like, you know, Markiplier had like... Back when he had, like,
friends, but they're just not that fun to
But,
watch.
like, and even though they're, like, friends with him and he can, like, plug them in the videos and stuff, like, because a lot of them weren't really that funny, they didn't, like, take off. And that I felt that's kind of a tragedy too, because like I would really, if I was like a friend of a really popular YouTuber, I'd want to like be able to like make it on YouTube by getting my foot in the door with that, because that's how you break the system.
Yeah.
Because instead of the algorithm deciding your fate, you could just have like a major YouTuber being like, "Hey guys, check out this person. They're funny."
Right. But they weren't funny.
They weren't funny
I
though.
didn't like them. I hope they're doing well, though.
I'd be able to fight these monsters if I was able to wield something. Lanny Pator playing Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and he's like, "Look, I can move this like 30-pound, I can move this 100-pound like I-beam out of the way to solve this puzzle, but I can't just use a stick as a weapon."
I hope Markiplier's friends are doing okay.
I hope they are too. Hey, Markiplier's friends. How you doing?
How you doing? How you guys doing?
How you doing?
If you ever come across this video specifically,
I hope they didn't get like left behind. Like don't forget us when you've made it in Hollywood.
Yeah, right. I hope.
Because he's like he's literally in the top 10 like most popular and most wealthy like YouTubers.
Yeah. Man.
I just want to gather those guys together and be like, let's just like form a new like community.
Yeah.
Smaller, trying hard YouTubers.
Yeah. It's got a faucet for water. Really? Faucets is where water
Now I'm
comes
kind
from.
of thirsty. Oh, I left my water over here. Wait, I know. It's a water fountain. Oh, this wall is merely a facade, hiding the truth. There is no wall, but a water tank.
I fail to see how it makes any difference either way. Oh, this is gonna be a fun show.
I mean, that's just a weird setup.
Yeah, an oil drum. Looks like it's filled with water.
It's heavy. I can't even budge it.
Well, yeah, it's an oil drum filled with water. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
This is the dollar store. How dank can it
How
be?
dank can it possibly be?
Just the remix, How Dank Can I Possibly Be by the Onceler.
I don't know who that is.
The Lorax.
Like which Lorax?
The movie Lorax.
Which movie Lorax?
3D one with Danny
3D
DeVito. The one with Danny DeVito.
I never saw it.
Ah.
I saw Horton Hears a Who.
Well, you killing my story then. Then it don't work, does it?
I see the problem.
Oh, do ya? You're supposed to go get the... Where's the reference?
Where's the...
I drew it right here on Magic Marker. You're supposed to understand the reference from the get-go.
Yay! I was gonna listen to the reference and then go see what the reference was later.
Well, then go listen to the reference.
I see the problem.
Oh, do ya? Oh, that's your line.
Oh, yes it is. The drum over here is on its side.
Wait! I know. I'll hide in there and do a stakeout.
I think you'll probably just get arrested. In fact, you may not even have to hide in the drum to get arrested.
Spy music, just MGS music, hiding in a barrel.
Tactical espionage.
You know, hiding in a barrel would be more waterproof than hiding in a cardboard box.
An oil drum for a disguise would have been a neat thing to have in Metal Gear Solid. I mean, it makes about as much sense as a box.
Yeah. What? I'm not suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
We're not suspicious at all.
How about the sign? The sign. Look, a stylish glass-walled room. Nice. Very nice.
You could see the whole parking lot from in there.
It says security. Perhaps it's a cafe.
Huh?
Cafe Security. Yeah, that must be it. Let's check it out later.
I hate to break it to you, but I think that's probably just a security guard office.
You know, I scored 97 on my science test the other day.
You
are a baby!
Too bad they don't have a test for common sense. Yeah, it's totally a restaurant. Hey, you think they got steaks there?
Where did you get that muffin? Muffin bun.
Muffin bun. There are never installed a muffin bun. Where did the this muffin.
I love that Deus Ex Machina with the creating a shield out of pure muffins. Like a crash shield. Survive re-entry with muffins. Dear Mythbusters.
Dear Mythbusters.
I'd like you to test something for me. How many muffins does it take to create a blast shield, or a re-entry shield?
You know how Yardra is kind of just skipped over in the lore of DBZ?
What is?
Yardra, the place where Goku went to and learned the instant transmission from after the Frieza.
It's not coming to mind, so I'm guessing you're right on that.
Yeah, because it just gets kind of skipped over. Goku comes back to Earth and is like, oh yeah, I wound up on a place called Yardra, and the aliens there taught me instant transmission, which is pretty cool.
They also taught me how to jump good.
Yeah. But what's weird is that whole segment gets like pretty skipped over. Like I don't think we actually get to see Yardrat, but it's a whole level in a DBZ game, and I can't remember which DBZ game it was, but I remember not liking the game. But I remember thinking it was a pretty cool concept. I mean, the level of the
It's just not coming to me because I don't remember what it looks like. For some reason, I'm imagining like a purple planet.
Because we never saw it! I mean, we might have seen it, I don't know.
Do we know what the people from Yardrat look like?
You know what? Look it up on your phone.
Alright.
Look up
You keep
DBZ
looking at clues
Yardrat.
and stuff. Is that like Yard Rat?
I think so. That's your line.
It's good that Dragon Ball became DBZ just because DBZ sort of rolls off the tongue.
Well, I mean, it's just short for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, but as in like Dragon Ball sounds good, but if you abbreviate it to DB, it's just decibels.
Decibels.
Oh yeah, look. Here's the Yardrat person.
Oh, that's what
They look like an onion, but green.
Green onion people.
They've got some kind of clothes and a turtleneck.
Well, I hope they have some kind of clothes. Doesn't necessarily have to be a turtleneck, but I'm not looking to see naked aliens right now.
They could be what about didn't the Cybermen just run around naked though?
Yeah, but they didn't look naked.
Yeah, but as in like this guy's seems like a plant guy, so I figured it was similar. I don't know. I love that. Look, I love this annotation. Yardratians are a race that exists in both Universe 7 and Universe 2.
Not Universe 6 though?
In Universe 7, they are from planet Yardrat. They are a physically weak race, but possess the ability to manipulate space and time. Yardrats are responsible for teaching Goku. Wow, teaching Goku the instant transmission technique.
What about Universe 2? Is it like a Saiyan situation where they adopted a different planet because theirs blew up or something?
Let's see, Universe 7. Oh, and then in Universe 7, it's pictures of them, but they're like 3D, so I'm guessing it's from a video game.
Universe 2, or
I'm guessing that Universe 7 is from a video game because they're 3D. It says Goku
Universe
arrives...
7 is the anime, that's Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super introduces the multiverse.
Okay, well, it says
Did you
here...
not watch Dragon Ball Super?
It says here, Goku arrives in one of the Ginyu Force's abandoned space pods that have already been pre-programmed to travel to planet Yardrat, and thus the Yardrats have been under attack by the Ginyu Force before Frieza called them over to Namek, had they not been defeated. Goku spends a year with the Yardrats as they nurse him back to full health and repair his ship. He also learns the instant transmission technique from them before returning to Earth. A Yardrat named Soba, not Soda, Soba, makes an appearance in the video game Dragon Ball Z Sagas. Ah, that's what the screenshots are from.
That's what it was. That was not a good game.
He confronts Goku before the latter leaves the planet, seemingly in order to test his abilities. By the events depicted in Resurrection F, that's where you press F to resurrect. Yardrat Soldier can be seen among in the second manga chapter adaptation of the film as part of Frieza's army of 1,000 Frieza Force soldiers. I'm just imagining Frieza's like, we're gonna get soldiers from every planet, so it's gonna be that like I need like one man from each family kind of deal to make my army. But like he quickly realizes that like he's going to like the super like badass warrior planets and taking like 2, and then going to all the other planets and just taking 2, and he goes to Yard Rat and he's like, you guys are just little onion people. Yeah, but they got me on logistics duty. I mean, I could just teleport and move stuff. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Frieza,
Dude,
Frieza.
imagine if you started messing with the rules that way by like, oh, I learned instant transmission from the Yard Rats, and now I just like zip into combat, give my buddy a sensu bean, and zip out. Like that's my special move. That's not even my special move. That's a move they do. You press the button, and it's just your buddy goes whoosh, sensu bean.
Sensu bean. That's your line.
This is where the car is. Leave the lot. The arrow on the ground makes it look more
my line.
like an entrance.
Yes.
It seems like something I would say as well.
You think?
What are you talking about? It's plainly an exit. The arrow's facing outward, I think.
Well, maybe it's both.
Wait, hold on. No, that's the gate to our left. Which means that that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man.
The theory of relativity.
What?
That's not what that is. That's not what that means. Hey, Mr. Wright. Maybe you know. Was Mr. Relatively German? Or was he British?
Mr. Relativity? Are you sure that was his name?
And that Mr. Relativity was Albert Einstein. But like literally in this case. Dude, the little yeah, that thing.
This thing.
It's
What's this?
wallet.
What's this? The screen rock makes me sick.
What's this? Lex Luthor's such a dick.
Dude, did we tell that story?
I think we did. I always say stuff like, oh, that's from like the first or third episode, but like we've had like 50 episodes, so what I mean is, oh, this is probably from the first like third of the game.
Right. What's this? A wallet? Excuse me, officer?
Wait! What are you doing, Mr. Wright?
What am I doing? I just found this wallet, so I'm handing it over to the police.
I don't believe it. This is real basic. Anything at the crime scene is evidence. Let's be scientific about this, please. Just put it in your pocket. I have an extra pocket for wallets.
Damn, if only Maya was here with
It's all
her
very
robe.
scientific.
All her robe pockets. How is that scientific? Sounds like theft to me. Wallet hastily stuffed into pocket.
I'm called to duty already, and at my tender age of, was it like 16, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Here, I'll teach you the trick to examining evidence in detail, okay?
By the way, her eyes are sparkling. I can tell she's been waiting for this.
I got some of that like dust stuff that you use for fingerprints, and I got the black dust stuff that you use on light surfaces.
I got that white dust stuff that you use in your nose.
Chalk? Hold on. And it just like, they just like push on their nose and then fire a chunk of chalk out of them. That was what was obstructing my thoughts. No, I'm looking for...
They like write by just shooting chalk out of their nose. They're just like...
That is a whole new level that I will not entertain. Now, look at the court record.
Okay.
You know, we call it the court record, but it's really a fancy way of saying like your pocket.
Right.
It's just where you keep all your stuff.
Yeah, it's just where all your shit is. Okay, I'm looking at the court record.
Seems to be something inside.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this a whole new mechanic that they're
Oh, I
introducing
think
now?
so. You have to be sure to examine evidence carefully on all sides. Oh, is this going to be like a 2D version of that, I was gonna say Resident Evil, but they had it in LA Noire where you can like rotate it and be like, ah, I see.
Oh yeah.
We open the wallet and then we look at it and then we look at the back of it.
My favorite animation is when you're tapping on something.
Oh, I love that. Okay, it's a toss-up. My favorite animations are tapping on paper with the satisfying paper tapping sound.
Yeah.
Or when you discover like underwear and you can just barely move your hands around, and so everyone who's played that level is like, wait a minute, and they just like wiggle.
Yeah. You're lying.
Now, I wonder if that's the same in the VR game. Man, the VR game is going to make that just way more interesting. Because then you can just, like, you pick up evidence and then you just flail it about.
Right.
Any sort of textile, anything that's like a flexible material is way more interesting in VR. Now, let's start examining from every angle. Got the outside here. I think there might be a clue here. It's a wallet. Check it out now, my funk soul brother.
Whoop. 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 This is an ID card. Sergeant Bruce Goodman.
Bruce Goodman.
Bruce Goodman, ID. It's Sergeant Bruce Wayne. Bruce Banner. Bruce Tim. Bruce Goodman. ID 584218986753009.
Sir? See? Well, isn't scientific investigation useful?
I guess, though I don't see what science has to do with it.
It's science!
Of course! Don't you know anything about science?
Of course! If we had an editor, I would add in the clip that Linkara uses. Of course! Don't you know anything about science? Which would be kind of hard to explain because, like, he's got the whole history of examining comic books and using that reference, whereas if I use that reference, they'd be like, why do you have a comic clip of the two clones of Hitler? What is that even from? Honestly, I actually don't remember. I think it was like a...
Wait, wasn't that what... It was like some weird
Santa
future?
Superman?
It was like some weird future where he lost his powers or something and the world...
Yeah, there was like a Santa Superman
like
with guns, and then for some reason they cloned Hitler twice. And it's like basically it's like a running gag where someone's like in a comic book where they'll be like, yeah, you just drop the DNA in some green goo and then it becomes the monster version of that person. Of course! Don't you know anything about science?
Oh man.
You shot radio waves at this bicycle and now the bicycle's bigger.
Superman's just like, what am I, B.J. Blazkowicz, Nazi killer extraordinaire?
I guess. Maybe, yeah.
Oh, hey, Wolfenstein 2
maybe
and
BJ
Youngblood are,
Blazkowicz
on
was
sale
like
right now.
hit with some Vita rays or something,
Maybe.
and so he stays so fit.
Maybe. But Wolfenstein 2 and Youngblood are on sale right now. You can get them both for like $50 total.
That's gonna be really relevant, like 5 years from now when someone finds this video. They're gonna be like, I remember Wolfenstein. I mean, at that point, it's probably like still going.
Yeah, probably.
It's got like a whole like alternate universe, like what's the word? The Call of Duty Zombies level of plot.
Oh yeah.
There's like multiple like timelines.
Investigator's ID card found at prosecutor's office. Crime scene ID 5. I read that. Goodman's ID added to the court record.
Let's be sure to examine every piece of evidence we find. You know, is it weird that I thought we were going to look at the back of the wallet?
I thought we were too.
Yeah, we're going to like flip it around.
Yeah. I guess I've got to be on my toes from now on.
It's just a sprite of Phoenix Wright, and you don't even see like his toes, you just see him like lift a little bit.
It's just like whoop. Whoop. Whoop.
Let's see, we got the barrels, we got the ladder, we got the sign, we got the door, we got the thing. Try the floor. Yeah, just kind of move around the floor. Did you get the ATM looking thing?
ATM, can't
Really?
get it.
That's weird. I really thought that would have been a thing.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go back to the detention center.
Why is his ID out, or why is his wallet out there, though?
I don't know. Thought maybe there'd be some at the detention center. Oh no, I become a vlogger.
Bruh, how long have you... Oh, recently.
Oh no, like just now.
I saw the little beepity boop on the screen. I was like, oh, okay, that was just a second ago.
I gotta plug. That was like literally
it's just been a
now.
one-sided... It's just a one-sided show where people are listening to your whispers and guessing at what you're saying. Ends up getting like twice as many people because of the intrigue of the half-a-log that's going on.
Right? I don't know what else to do here.
Let's bring the ID to,
Oh wait, I can investigate the ID.
Oh, yeah. Name and number written here.
Sergeant. Oh.
Wonder why they only use numbers for IDs.
What else would they use?
The letters. The reason we have a written language in the first place.
True.
ID, yabba dab.
Your line?
Oh, the whole line. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. ID, yabba dab.
Yabba dab.
See? Wouldn't that be better? I mean, you could remember that easier.
Yabba dab? Badoo? You have to
No, Badoo is the gun.
Badoo is the gun. Badoo and his brother Boo Boo.
You're getting reckless, Goodman. I need a badge and your Badoo.
Well, it does have a certain ring to it.
Exactly my point. Hee.
Doesn't
Hello.
take much to amuse her.
The dog is here. Hello. Why do you always lick my knee?
He's weird.
He wants to know how I taste. That is concerning. He's just giving kisses.
That is a little weird. I think
my dogs do that too.
Yeah. I think we should call this here.
Yes!
Well,
so next time, just for a note for me when I'm listening to this later. Next time, what I think we gotta do is bring the ID to Lana, and maybe she'll have something to say about it.
Lana!
That's my best guess.
Well, I just tried going to the detention center and there was nothing there, but that was also before I examined the ID. Maybe? Nope.
Examine. Oh, maybe we could. Let's examine this room
examine
again.
The security guard for
I like
the
how
billionth time.
I like how it refreshes, so it's like a different thing each time.
That's ridiculous.
Despite it being the same exact room.
So weird.
Tell you what, I'm gonna save some struggle, and if we don't come up with something by the next episode, then before we stream, I'll look up what the next step is, just to get us going.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Because if I was watching this, I'd be like, guys, it's okay if one of you looks something up just to just so you're not
keep the game going.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to. I don't want it to be like the 5-part tragedy that is Game Grumps playing Dead or Alive volleyball.
Oh yeah.
What, Aaron? What happened to all of our money?
I spent it all on gambling.
Look, you got a strategy to it. You build a tower defense, a whole tower right in the middle of the, what's it called, roulette table or whatever.
Right. That was a ride. That was a ride of a playthrough. Anyway, thank you so much for watching our stream.
I thank you for watching our stream.
Now,
I've been Taylor.
I've been Lujack.
With a C.
Yeah. So.
I've been Elan Sleeves Bagiano, and I love Death Sticks.
I'm Elan Sleeves Bagiano, and I went to rehab. It got better.
Yeah, I imagine he did. Well, the funny thing is, we don't know if he actually smoked Death Sticks or just sold them, but either way.
We don't even know if that's his real name.
Oh, no, that's definitely his name. His middle name is fake. He's Elan Baggiano, but the nickname is Elan Sleaze Baggiano. Which is funny because he's one of the few characters in Star Wars that instead of having like a Star Wars name, he's just got an Italian sounding name.
Right.
Like when you think about it, everyone in Star Wars has it sort of like Calo Nord, Sturm Bundo, Ston Bedo. Like you could just kind of make them up as you go.
Lando Calrissian.
Calrissian is one of the exceptions. Like Skywalker is another like big one, but like Han Solo is actually like right in there with like standard Star Wars names.
Right.
Cad Bane. I already said Calo Nord, but it keeps coming back because it's like the most average name you could have in Star Wars.
Right.
If I was playing a Star Wars RPG, one of my concepts for a bounty hunter name was Totes Profesh.
Try Lee. We got a million Lees.
Yeah, you could be Lee. Usually, if you have a one-syllable first name, you gotta have a two-syllable last name. So you'd be like Lee Bondo.
Yeah.
James Bond's name in Star Wars just be Jim Bondo.
Jim Bondo.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Because there's no long A sounds like James.
No.
It could be a Jane though, like Jain.
The
So it'd be Jane Bondu.
The name's Bondo. Jane Bondo.
So, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone remember to take cool. Take cool. Take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful cool.
Drink your drugs.
Stay in milk. Don't
stay in
do
milk
school.
and don't do school.
So remember to take care.
Stay awesome.
Have a beautiful day.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.